It's Carter up here, beautiful Riverbend Park. There's swimming pools. They'll be up a little while longer. They stay beyond September 1st, beyond Labor Day, because a lot of folks up here, it's their park. So what they decide to do is what we do, the folks who live here. I always tell people that there are no rules, just right, okay? And what a way to live, the way we used to live in the U.S. Good folks, mind their own business, but if you need a helping hand, they're there. That's the Riverbend Park way, and it used to be the American way till the liberals took over, okay? And so let me parenthetically add, because I really want to talk for a minute about B.J. Harris's interview, fake interview on CNN. Before I do, let me say that our last best hope for bringing back America, okay, bringing back the America we knew and loved, comes November 5th, okay? I call it, and this, I'm not being blasphemous in saying this, I'm a very devout Christian, a Pentecostal Christian, but I kind of compare the second coming of Trump to the second coming of Christ. You know the old saying, when Christ comes again, it's no more Mr. Nice Guy, okay? Well, that's what we need with Donald Trump this time. We really do. We need the clean house of the liberals, of those who are woke, and say, you no longer make the rules for everybody else. People are going to be free again, okay? And that's why we got to get out the vote on November 5th, folks. We got to win by 5 to 10% to overcome the Democrats stealing. So now I know that Mary Kimmler can put me in jail for what I just said, but it's just the truth. It really is, okay? Now, very briefly, let me get to the phony interview. I say phony because it was totally staged. It was a She is a Goddess production by CNN, okay? And two things really struck me. The first was, look, Dana Bash should never be allowed to pretend she is a newswoman, okay? She is not a journalist. She is a press secretary for any radical leftist who comes down the pike, okay? This woman is the ultimate suck-up. And you saw it again because notice her questions. She would ask a question of B.J. Harris, and knowing that B.J. is incapable of framing her own answers, Dana would continue the questions until she gave the answer, wink, wink, to B.J. that B.J. was supposed to give. Watch it, and you'll see the process, deliberate process, okay? Dana Bash, first husband, a CIA agent, second husband, works with her at CNN as a phony journalist. She's divorced both. Now, why in the hell she keeps the name Bash? Probably because that's her way of making sure the CIA knows I'm still with you, okay? She reminds me in that respect of Bianca Jagger, who is a nothing and a nobody and a has-been, but keeps the name Jagger. And is constantly attacking Ortega. Now, you may like Ortega or not. I happen to like him. He has a country that's drug-free, relatively crime-free, and you have a heck of a lot of freedom, more than in the U.S. there. He didn't do the COVID hoax tyranny. But she keeps the Jagger name because she knows if she went by her real last name, which is, what the hell is it, Rodriguez or whatever, everybody would say, oh, we don't even know who you are, you atrophied old hag. And so Bash keeps that name for a reason, okay? Because remember, she married King after she married Bash, so why didn't she Dana King? Or Dana, I think Schwartzman, whatever her childhood name was. She is a phony through and through and should not be allowed on the air. This is a woman whose closet is full of knee pads for whenever she interviews a liberal, and full of Uzis for whenever she interviews a conservative. And no conservative should go on with her. Okay, the second thing that strikes me, and this was brought up to me by Chad Jones, an incredible, astute political analyst, good friend of mine. And he pointed out that BJ looked minuscule at the table. She looked like she was a little kid at the table with the grown-ups. And she was sitting in a chair that all she had to do was move a lever and would raise her up. Now, put this in perspective. Dana the suck-up Bash is only 5'2", and Harris allowed herself to look small next to Dana. That's how stupid this woman is. I mean, her answers were ghastly. You know, just something they had told her how, okay, memorize this and say it. She, you know, her whole, I was a child of a single mother and worked at McDonald's. Her mother was wealthy. She was a doctor, a major cancer research doctor. Stop it. Stop the lie. And McDonald's, if she ever worked at McDonald's, I think it was for about 10 minutes until she couldn't figure out how to say, "Will you have fries with that?" And she either quit or was fired. And then she did the cashier. She said, "This woman is terrible." And by the way, anybody who keeps saying to you, "Let me be honest with you," and that type of thing over and over is not being honest with you. Okay? So that's what we have there. There's my two observations on the interview, the phony interview. It was staged. It was a production. They could only get 18 minutes of anything that even it had a semblance of not being nonsense from BJ. And so instead they had wonderful footage of her glorifying her, a deification. Well, we'll take care of all that with the second coming of Trump. Let's do this thing. Stay strong.